Cool, it worked. Let me tweet the link. All right. Oh, hey, Paul Medina. Welcome. This game, well, so I was gonna stream a few things. Hey everyone, it's Michael Swaim. I was gonna stream. Oh, nice. I'm glad to be of service. Broken Glasses. Flame in the Flood, which is this indie game you see up right now that I'm sure some hunk of video gamers probably are not aware of because it's not like a huge game, but I love the shit out of it. Then I'll do some Bloodborne, which I'm just masochistically trying to get good at because it bothers me that From games don't allow me to get good at them. And then we'll wrap up with some Last of Us 2, so that way people can duck out if they don't want spoilers on that. But yeah, Bloodborne will be in the middle. But let's start with some Flame in the Flood, and also something I'm trying to say explicitly more. Happy to answer any questions. I usually stream VR, so I don't see chat, but I do see chat this time, so feel free to say mean things if you want. Why did I invite that? Michael, you're fucking up already. So this is Flame in the Flood, the most peaceful ASMR post-apocalypse game ever made, and I love it. As you can see in the upper right, my PS4 avatar is a Flame in the Flood reference, because it's one of my favorite games, honestly. There's only one option. God damn it. God damn it, Adamantium Jello. We're enemies now. Aesop or Daisy? That's the only option you get. Do you want Aesop, who is a ragged gray terrier, or Daisy, who is a firehouse grade Dalmatian? I'm gonna go Daisy. In real life, I would never get a Dalmatian. No shade if you have a Dalmatian. They're not my favorite kind of dog because of the wiry hair. But in this game, I like the look of a Dalmatian. Excellent. All right. Adamantium Jello said Aesop. I went Daisy because we're enemies. Catherine V. Go Team Dalmatian. So yeah, Flame in the Flood is basically a post-apocalypse game where the only challenge is, or the challenges rather, are mundane in nature, and by that I mean you can starve to death, you can freeze to death, you need clean water or you'll get sick. It's sort of an Oregon Trail experience, way beefed up, and I love it. And basically you're just trying to get to an area where some other people are. Please explain why a game is good since many of chat won't have played. Oh, okay. Good call. That scrolled by, but I will indeed try and say what's great about this game as I play it. That should happen organically, I would think. Awesome. Thank you, Willis. That means a lot. Welcome to the stream. Ooh, there's more. There's more to the compliment. It got cut off halfway through. Or maybe I need to load YouTube to see it. But we were the highlight of Willis's something, and that pleases me no end. Alright, so here we are at Camp Pinewood, where our unnamed protagonist has been resting, apparently, and then it's a roguelike, which means every time it's going to randomly generate the world and start over, and you know I love those if you saw my Enter the Gungeon video. So what's going on in this one is, every time we die, the dog, who is clearly a sociopath, it's really the dog's story. The dog takes our backpack of belongings and finds another survivor and gives it to them, and that's the new survivor, and you begin your mission anew of trying to get to the end and survive. So, you always inherit whatever items you were able to recover from your predecessor when they died. So we'll have some items based on my last run. Runs always end in death or complete victory, like beating the game, which is rare, because in roguelikes that's sort of the deal, is the game's hard to beat, but you get infinite chances. So, I died, so actually I blanked my game and reset. to stream for you guys, so I have nothing. So this is this is going to be tough. We're starting with nothing from scratch, as if we just bought the game. You can use fire to get charcoal, which we'll need later to sterilize water. So let's grab some charcoal. This opening area is always identical. I picked up a feather and a sapling. So I know what to do in this opening area, and then every other area we encounter will be randomly generated. You can scare this crow away and get its feather as it falls from the sky. You can learn through tutorial signs, but we don't need to. You can loot that cabin, but it's empty because it's where you've been living and it's cleared out. Oh, never mind. Here's the loot I inherit from my predecessor. So we got a jar, a water filter, some rags, and a splint. Not bad. Checking out in chat. Oh yeah, roll up, Depression crew. It scrolled by, but I'm just happy to say, or happy to have anyone publicly talking about depression, grief, or trauma. That's the goal of Tales from the Pit. Everyone, that's the main thing I've figured out becoming an adult. I don't know a single person whose life is not touched by mental illness, addiction, depression, trauma, something, tragedy. And it helps to talk about it, so it's fine. Everyone just talk about it. It's good. Share your scars when you're ready, of course. No one's forced to do so, but... Alright, so you can assume it's the Mississippi. They don't name the river, but a couple things I love about this game. Great variety. The loop has a lot of variety. So in this part of the game, what I'm focusing on is just not hitting rocks and picking up potential loot along the river, which I assume is the Mississippi. Another thing I think is tremendous about this game is the soundtrack. Obviously, lots of soundtracks now have quote-unquote real songs. Here's some loot. We got corn. But I have not heard like a kick-ass country western folk soundtrack ever on a game until now, and I think Molasses Flood, the developers, really nailed it. The soundtrack of this game's beautiful. Yeah, and as Adamantium Jello says, the art style. I love that they didn't go full realistic. It feels like Paranorman or like paper cutouts. It's just the style of this game is dynamite. Okay, so you can see some potential locations where we can stop and forage for stuff popping up on the screen there. Closest one looks like a bait shop about 100 meters off, so let's try and maneuver our raft over there to a defunct bait shop. Hey, Thomas C. Thomas C says, would pay for a Swaim short story book. Corrected it to Swaim. Good catch. But, good news on that front. You don't have to pay. I'm in the middle of working with a musician to release a audiobook, this will go up on the Small Beans feed at some point when it's done. We're only 3 stories in. But a fully orchestrated audiobook of 13 short stories and assorted poems. And that will be, by fully orchestrated, I mean like the music matches what I'm saying. It's not just like in Tales from the Pit, I only had the bandwidth to pick songs and lay them under. This is like, you know, it's like his heart pounded against his chest and drums go dun 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 dun. It's really cool. The 2 stories he sent are awesome, and I can't wait to release that. So that'll be like an 8-hour podcast episode that will come out soon. Not soon, like a couple months. Alright, so we got fish hooks. And it's funny because I'm recording all these really angsty stories by my window, and our neighbors are very, very close, and they're hearing me. I'm doing some weird performative stuff, so like there's one that starts from the point of view of a character who's having a panic attack, and I go like, I read it like, I can't breathe, I have to, and my neighbor's looking through the window like, you alright, dude? And I was like, yeah, it's art, man, don't worry about it, it's art. Art is weird. Hey, Dekakink. I like your name a lot because it's difficult to pronounce. But welcome, and thank you so much for the kind words. Alright, so now this is the other main part of the game, which will remind you of Minecraft. You don't mine per se because the environment's not destructible, but you go to these areas and you accrue items, and these unlock crafting recipes, and you craft the things you need to survive. One of the most basic is a braided cord, which basically means you turn cattails into rope, and as you do that, other recipes immediately become available. Cattails also go to tinder, so through trial and error and dying a lot, you figure out what balance. I like 3/4 to a quarter rope versus tinder for the cattails that come my way. And then at the bottom of the screen, we're always keeping track of our hunger, our thirst, the heat, and how tired we are, because you do have to sleep in this game. And you do have to make good time or bad things happen. Now we're going to stop here at the marina, which I don't think there's a reason to go to, because the marina's for repairing your raft, and we haven't crashed the raft, and we don't have enough shit to upgrade the raft. Yes, there's no reason to be here. We could get gas, which is rare and valuable, but only if you survive to the point in the game where you have a motorized raft, and that's unlikely on this stream, so I'm going to skip gas as well. Man, you guys are calling it. So Selim Maravilla says, I'm sorry if I mispronounced that, dude, ever think of doing something more like escort mission again? What a long story this is. But so someone asked about an audiobook, and in fact I'm already doing an audiobook. And speaking of which, if you are a Tales from the Pit fan, it's not dead. I know there hasn't been an episode in many months, and that is because I had to recalibrate my life. I moved to SF and I took a new job. I'm manager of video programming now for IGN, the video games journalism site. And it's a job that's very similar to my job was at Cracked, but about video games instead of jokes. But a lot of samey stuff. And as you can imagine, I shouldn't even say this, but hopefully this doesn't get me in trouble. As you can imagine, because I have lots of ideas, but I don't have infinite ideas, and I'm not trying to reinvent the wheel here, there's a show very much like Escort Mission in the works at IGN. Coronavirus put a hard hold on that, but that will happen when we reopen, which in our case is at least not until September, because our office is being even more conservative than the government, which I think is wise. But when we have access to sets and actors again, Escort Mission will live again in some form. Not exactly Escort Mission, but you know. It's a me joint, and I do the kind of things I do, so it'll be similar. Sometimes I try to reinvent the wheel. I like to do weird shit. Oh, but anyway, I just wanted to say, Tales from the Pit is not dead. It just takes a while to develop new friends in your new area, which I'm now in the Bay Area, to ask them, hey, do you want to talk about your deepest, most upsetting trauma on my podcast? I've had way more luck saying, do you want to talk about video games or movies with us? But if you follow me, when enough time has passed that I have friends here that are close enough that we talk about real shit and I find out what their scars look like, I will definitely ask them if they want to do Tales from the Pit episodes. I just have not had that happen yet, and I'm not going to force it. Peter Bond, you saved my life. I would have killed myself long ago if I didn't get to make stuff. That's absolutely true. So it's a symbiotic relationship. Don't worry about that. Thank you. Another big part of this game is inventory management. You basically are always out of space till later in the game. So now we're done here. I'm going on autopilot and not explaining the game, but that's cool. We're talking real shit. Yeah, thank you, Selim. I am taking care of myself because it was really sort of dark at the end there in LA. There's a lot of ways in which LA doesn't agree with me. And I basically took this job to force myself to move away from home for the first time. Southern California is where I was born and raised. And I just thought it would be good for me to have an office that I had to go to every day. Ironically, I no longer do that. But nevertheless, I'm accountable to a team from 9 to 5 days a week, and shit like that. And that's true, it's worked. Mainly, as many of you know, I'm an alcoholic, and it kept me from drinking. And I'm going on 11 months sober now, and I don't think I could have maintained that working from home alone with no schedule in LA. So I just had to make a change, and I know it's crazy to make such a big change just to not drink when so many people can just not drink, but I can't, so I had to do that to keep from drinking, and it worked, so it's worth it. So yes, that's the main reason I took a whole job and moved cities. It's like, if I stay here, I'm going to keep drinking. There's too many cues. So switched it up and it worked for me. Which they sometimes consider pulling a geographical, which means running from your problems and not making a real plan. But I just want to differentiate that from what I did, because I was moving in order to take a new job and a new rhythm and develop a new group, and all those things have happened. Although I have not lost my old group. Abe is still my main, my shining star. Let's see, other Small Beans news that's pretty dope is, and I'm just gonna say this, Pop Culture Petri Dish is coming back, but with new hosts and revamped and with a new format, but it will still be about science. And I'm excited because I really like having science on the network. And right now, I love all our shows. Dude, Director Piece Theater might be my favorite thing we do, and I'm not on it, but too many are about movies, and we're broader than movies. I think we can encompass more than that. Hell yeah, dude. Keep going strong. 2 days sober is a big deal. Like, now at 11 months sober, I realize that it is true. Like, 5 minutes sober, if it's conscious sobriety, is a big deal. You gotta build. That's what you build on. So keep at it. If indeed you want to be sober, I think it's wise and a good decision, but I stop at telling people what to do. If you want to do drugs and die of it, whatever. I think that's a bad call, but it's your call. Alright. I am sleepy, according to the game, so let's sleep. 4 hours will recover 50% of our sleep, so that's good. And it makes a day. Unfortunately, we can't do anything about the fact that we're freezing cold because I don't have enough stuff to build super good clothes yet. But, as you can see, we go around. If I had a torch, I'd use it now, but I don't. We go around these random areas, searching for randomly generated items, making sure they all fit in our backpack, plus on our dog's backpack, plus on the raft, which you can expand through upgrades. And uh-oh, now it's raining. That's gonna that's gonna make us weary faster. But let's get back to the raft and craft some shit, because I'm talking to you lovely people, I'm not playing this game as efficiently as usual. So as you notice, I really need food and water. So mulberries provide a little bit of both, but barely any. Let's see what we can do about some food. So I don't have anything I can eat. I have yucca, which I could eat if I could cook it, but I can't make a campfire right now because it's raining. So you see how the game is. It's a bunch of modifiers in play at all times, and that's what I like about it. To make a campfire, I need tinder, I need flint, and I need old lumber. So I'm gonna make a campfire, but I can't deploy it until it stops raining. I'm gonna make a stitching kit so I can hopefully make some warmer clothes. But you can't make clothes without fur from an animal, so we'll have to find and trap and kill animals. That's all we can do right now. Oh, I could eat this corn. I'd rather cook it or turn it into ash cake, which also requires a lit campfire, which we can't do. Well, it's raining. So even though we're very thirsty and hungry, actually we can take care of the thirst. We're going to dip the jar in the dirty river water. And then use our filter. Where is it? Why can't I make clean water? I have polluted water. What did I do with it? Oh, this water's clean? Oh! Whoa! That's what I love about this game. I have played this game. I'm over 100 runs into this game, and I did not know that if you click fill jar while it's raining, you automatically get clean water. That's amazing. It's not clean river water, it's rainwater. Amazing. Because normally if you fill the jar when it's not raining, you get polluted water you have to turn into clean water. Now I'm going to use that in the future, in future runs of this game. Fuck, I love this game. Okay, so now I've got... it's like the Squidbillies of games. Just humbly brilliant. Quietly brilliant and artistically fucking experimental. I have clean water. I'm going to fill it again. Because we're still thirsty. Make some clean water. That's right, adamantium. It's fire time. Drink the water again. Now we're hungry, so we need ash cake. So let's go make a campfire. This looks like a place that would be perfect for a campfire. There you go. Alright, what are people saying in chat? No worries, digressions are what streams are about. Yeah, Kings of King has been super fun too. We recently, if I sit at the fire, that will cure my condition wet. Watch those drops disappear. Wet cured. And we can cook our yucca, which will let us eat the yucca. And we can make ash cake. We can't make ash cake because I don't have enough corn. Oh, corn's on the raft. The corn is on the raft. The corn is on the raft. Yeah, ash cake is apparently a real thing that Wild West pioneers would eat. That's just ashes from the fireplace mixed with cornmeal. Gets the corn to all hang together, and you can technically eat it. Yeah, Kings of King has been great. We finally covered a movie that's bad, Dreamcatcher, and I was worried because that's not our style, covering bad movies, but it did end up being fruitful, so I'm like, oh, okay, you can squeeze goodness out of bad movies, it's true. So let's get that corn. Need that corn. Thank you, Doc. Doc is one of our mods, and one of the smallest of beans, which is a compliment in this case. Yeah, that's true. Small Beautiful Things, Abe's video series, which honestly, we're just always paranoid about giving you guys enough content to warrant your support. It really means the world to us that we can make a living making art. That's ridiculous. So, it's such a privilege. It's the whitest of white privileges. So, in exchange, we do work very hard. We knew we couldn't keep off hours going once I moved. We knew it would be hard to make videos for a while. Now with quarantine, it's proven even harder for even longer. So Abe does this series that's all edited, but we always want there to be at least one video component. Currently, I'm haranguing Katie and Cody to do more family meetings. Those are written, but they're very busy. It's tough to nail them down to record, but Abe has a series called Small Beautiful Things that you should check out on our YouTube channel, because it's like Every Frame of Painting, but Abe's version, and I think it's almost as good as Every Frame of Painting, and he's only 3 episodes in. It's pretty impressive. The Die Hard episode is especially good. Love my collaborators. So now we have a bunch of cooked yucca, which is good because we're really hungry. So we're going to eat 4 cooked yucca plants, which sounds just awful, and an ash cake for dessert. And now we're full again. Terrible, just terrible. Yep, now we're full, we're not thirsty, we are tired, but we cannot sleep for a while. I just want to get the show on the road. I want to find a rabbit or a wolf or a bear or a boar, something to kill and skin for clothes. Here we go. And part of it being randomly generated is you just get random pieces of score. It's been a long time since I've heard this twangy slide guitar piece. It's dope. They like loaded the game with 100 pieces of country western score and they just randomly come in and out. Ooh, loot! Yeah, what do we get? What did we get? Alcohol. The cause of and solution to, you know the rest. We got a camp coming up in 100 meters. Let's try and paddle over that way. Uh-oh, don't get hit. Okay. Our raft is at 90%, that's fine. So when I die in this, we're going to move on to Bloodborne. If you're just joining us, the schedule for the day is Flame in the Flood, which is this game you're looking at right now, then Bloodborne, then Last of Us 2, so people can duck out if they're trying to not spoil Last of Us 2. Thomas C., I need a shirt that just says open bracket, Simpsons quote, close bracket. That would resolve 60% of my conversations, honestly. I just interviewed, had the honestly very, very thrilling privilege of interviewing for IGN a bunch of the creators of StarCraft 1 and 2 and Diablo 2 and, you know, the Blizzard crew. Some of the big names at Blizzard who've been there forever, and we had some great talks that we'll, of course, be releasing for public viewing soon, but also Simpsons quotes. Simpsons quotes were my way to break the ice. Simpsons quotes were the way in. Everyone loves The Simpsons. Everyone loves classic era Simpsons. It spans generations. Alright, so far I gotta say we're having an uneventful run in terms of what's being randomly generated, but usually I would have run into some wildlife by now. But we're just having a peaceful traipse through the woods collecting twigs and berries and shit. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Nope, nothing else here. Okay, so we're gonna sleep in the bus and get out of here. Shame that Blizzard's owned by Activision now. Yeah, hey, Richard Cohan? Explain. Here's one thing. I was hired by IGN because I love video games, and I do play a lot of them, and I have skills that they need, like filmmaking and writing and hosting. That said, I do feel out of my depth there because everyone there knows all this stuff about the industry. So like you said, oi, it sucks that they're owned by Activision now. Why? I want to know this stuff. Is Activision bad? What's bad about them? I'm slowly learning this stuff. I know that Kojima and Konami had a falling out, and that was a big event. I'm learning this industry stuff. So anyway, if you have the time, Richard, I would love to know what sucks about Activision. Michelangelo 7, good name. I cannot speak directly to Diablo Immortal, but I would say from speaking with them, my wild speculation would be that it seems like they're the type of company that has enough self-confidence that they're going to make their money and that they just do what they want to do. Like, and I say this from talking to them about Ghost and Nova, you know. They're just the rare type of developer that will cancel a game if it's not panning out. If they don't think it's going to be good enough to be up to their standards, or it wasn't a good idea but it was worth the experiment to learn, then they'll scrap the game. And I think a lot of developers are scared to do that and will release the game anyway, even if they know it's lackluster, for the money. And Jesus, that was hard to navigate. Okay, we took a hit, but you saw, that was tough. That was some River Wild shit. But I would guess that they played Diablo Immortal a lot and they didn't like it enough. But that's just a guess. We didn't talk about it. Alright, let's see if we can get this loot without taking a hit. Oh! No, we took a hit. But we got a jar. I will say, much like the Zelda games, the Link games, whatever, jars are very valuable because you can only find them, and that's how you hold water and gas, so that was still worth it. Ooh, awesome, here we go. We got the scoop from Richard. When Blizzard was acquired by Activision, it created a lot of redundancies and a lot of talent at Blizzard was let go. That sucks. However, this also was widened to include a lot of the Blizzard esports and community outreach teams. Oh, so I'm guessing those communities have withered or not been served. God damn it. So now we need a marina. We're at 50% raft health. We're getting hung up on these rapids. Guess that's why they don't call them slopids. I have no son. Rest of episode. Then Ernest Borgnine gets killed by a monster in the woods. You know the one. Oh shit! I need that marina, but I can't get to it. I'm like Tom Ryman, separated from his beloved. Inside joke. Richard says, oh yeah, it's a complete project, so you have StarCraft Remastered, which was done mostly pre-A, and Warcraft 3 Remastered coming out. Yeah. Well, we talked about Reforged a lot, and actually they seem pretty excited about that, but of course it's their PR cycle, so they would. But, that's good to know. I appreciate that. Thank you. That will keep me from seeming like a doofus at an office meeting, the fact that I know this. Okay. We need room, so we gotta move stuff to the raft. We also need food and water. Alright, I take that back. Literally. Use. We need water. Water time. Fortunately, water filters can be used thrice before they run out. So I think this one will bite the dust right now, because I think we've used it once. Maybe I'm wrong. Which is good because that frees up an inventory slot. Yes, that used up our water filter. So, consume water. Can you consume alcohol in this game? No, that's good. Good job, game. Or maybe they did that just for me. Maybe they heard. That's coffee I was sipping. Okay. Stitching kit, always useful when we eventually encounter wildlife and can make skins. Stone knife will upgrade our ability to craft other things. Raft frame we don't need yet. A snare we will need when we encounter rabbits, which I hope we do. Bandages we will need when we inevitably take damage. Cool. So that's all our crafting shit. We're still healthy, but we're hungry. What can we eat? What can we eat? I can eat 10 dandelions. Those are freebies. That'll just give us 10. 61. Okay. You can make tea out of sumac. You can eat corn, but it's not worth it. You can use salt to make jerky, but we don't have any meat. Alright, we gotta shake a leg, as they say, if rafts had such, and either find a marina to repair our shit, which I'm hoping I can reach this one, but I don't think I can. Nope, the river's too swift. No, I made it! Ha ha! Fuck you! Hell yeah. I made it. So, now we can make moderate repairs to our raft. Broken glasses, I have to go. Are you posting these streams on full? Yeah. They'll archive on YouTube. You can take off, no worries. It was worth the extra damage because now we can repair. We can't repair all the way, but we can get to 60. Oh, we can get to 80. Not bad. Okay, so that was worth it. But what I was saying is, what we really need is animals. Pray for animals, because I need to kill something and get food. I agree. I want to point out, because I love this game, I agree with whoever said the AI on the dog running around is fantastic. The dog feels so much like a part of your journey. As I said, when you play this through 100 times, it really feels like the dog's game, because the dog is the constant. The player character dies over and over. The dog doesn't die. We're now in Thistledew Marsh, small town, plenty of shops to loot. Cool. And that's randomly generated. Like, the names of the areas are always different, and you don't know how much stuff there will be or what types of stuff. You can't fish, Mindfreak555. That would have been a good addition. You use fishing line to sew clothes. It seems to make sense that for a river game, they should have had fishing. Fishing would have been such an obvious way to get food. I agree. Hopefully there will be a flame in the flood too. I'd love that. But yes, this is a game, you haven't seen it yet, this is a game where you can suddenly be brutally killed very quickly. It just doesn't seem like it on this run yet. We're having a prosaic run. Which is good, but it's also bad because you kind of need animal meat to be full enough to get to the end of the river. And it looks like there's no wildlife here either besides crows, and all crows give you is feathers, which you can turn into bow and arrows. Arrows, rather. Inventory full. Hate that. Someone asked about off hours. Well, let me say this. I like making new stuff and try this. Actually, you're gonna get the answer you want, so just hold on. I like making new stuff, and fortunately I have the bandwidth to do both. I just want the people listening who do value freshness above all things and are wondering if we have more new ideas in us. We do. That's honestly our penchant. We like going in new directions and trying stuff we've never tried before. But that said, it's also a joy to do things you're good at that please a lot of people. So we are not above carrying on traditions and sequelizing things that we think that was lightning in a bottle, that worked very well. And After Hours is one such thing, obviously, because I was willing to do off hours, which I only did with the approval of everyone I consider creatively important to After Hours. Everyone who was there when we came up with the idea wanted us to do off hours and was very pleased. A rabbit! Hell yeah! We needed that. So just so you know, there was no ill will about off hours. People were into it and glad we were doing it. And the same goes for a show called Health Bar that takes place at a bar that I'm producing for IGN once coronavirus is over, where 4 friends sit around and debate the minutiae of video games while cartoons play out their thoughts. So, if you're down for After Hours but about video games, and I know that's a narrower field because some people wish it would stick to film, but that's the only hurdle. If you like video games, that show is coming. That show is coming, and you will have that, and it will feel just like After Hours, but it will be about video games. If you only care about movies, you're gonna have to wait for like a reunion, or for me to work at a different company whose focus is not video games. Okay, so here's how this works. We deploy a snare, which we previously crafted, over a rabbit hole. Otaku Man 706, I actually think through playing this game enough, what would be a great system, because you upgrade your raft repeatedly. If you could upgrade it... Oh, there's a boar here, too. Okay, he's dangerous. Dave Bell would love this part of the game. This boar will fuck our shit up, so we gotta be careful and avoid the boar. He's gonna charge. Ooh. Okay, let me get this rabbit. Oh, God, and now get the fuck away from this boar. That was ballsy, but we pulled it off. But what was I talking about? Oh, I would add a raft upgrade that's like trawling, where you could put like a chum bucket or a net on the back and occasionally passively get fish. And then before that, I was talking about how the dog AI rules, because the dog will also... We don't have the ability to kill a boar yet, so we're moving on. But the dog will also bark at resources you missed. Like the dog will point out shit that you didn't notice. Will Star be back? Oh, animating? Oh, on the show. Oh. If you're asking if Star will be back as a guest on Small Beans, inevitably yes, because we love Star. We just have a lot of like pals who come through, so it takes a long time to cycle. But as far as Health Bar, very early stages. Can't tell you. Too early to say. But I'm certainly on, part of the board of people who will decide who animates, and I like Star, so she's in the running. Okay, that's a wolf. Wolves will kill you very, very quickly, so quickly that, and they hunt you mercilessly, that we cannot go here. So like if it were later in the game and I had a bow and arrow or a different kind of trap or poison meat, I would go here and fuck this wolf up. But I'm going to avoid this whole area and probably just raft on. Nope, I take that back. We can fuck this wolf up. Here's what we do. Okay, here's what we do. We skin the rabbit we just got, right? Yeah? Step 1, you with me? Now, instead of... No, we can't. I'm sorry. Well, okay, since we have no weapons, I'll do it. So this is a very tough decision, because we needed to eat the jerky, because we're starving. But instead of doing that, we will make tainted meat, kill the wolf, and eat wolf meat instead of rabbit meat, which is slightly less filling. But it will allow me to show you how to kill the wolf. So we used poison mushrooms and meat to make poison meat. And while we're at it, we're also going to use the rabbit hide to make a nice, cute hat. I assume the cottontail is the ball on top. And we're going to equip that, and that will make us less susceptible to the cold, which will make us gain hunger and thirst and fatigue at a lesser rate. Now we're going to go and throw the tainted meat to the wolf faster than he can... faster than he can kill us. Here, take that. But he did cut us up. Okay, eat that. And die, you piece of shit. Die. Fucking choke on it, you wolf bastard. That's right. Boom. Fuck you, wolf. I'm from Mitch and Murray's office downtown, wolf. Always be wolfing down poison meat. Okay, tainted. No, stop, Michael. Now we want to make jerky, because we're starving. Fucking got that big bad wolf. Now we also have a laceration, but we can fix that with a stitching kit or a bandage. I'm going to save my stitching kit because we need clothes. We need better clothes. We're not naked, but we need better clothes. And we're going to eat our jerky right away because we're starving. And we're going to eat any dandelions we may have on hand because we're starving. Yeah, bring the questions. Is the Small Beans crew and friends doing alright after the months of the pandemic and the whole protest and possible unemployment rising? Oh, that's quite a question. Well, I consider, when you say the whole Small Beans crew and friends, that's quite a lot of people. As you may have heard, Alex Schmidt, who I worked with on Kurt Vonnegut's, much to my pleasure and honor, was recently laid off by Cracked's new parent company. So there are still people I love working at Cracked, but it's getting down there. Like, they're really clearing it out. It's almost done now. Honestly, I trust Alex will be okay because he's very, very talented and quietly very ambitious and good at networking, and I expect he'll be fine. All traits I admire. Like, he's very hardworking. So I'm not too worried about Schmitty. I feel that when I left Cracked, it was a hard decision, but it really freed me to get back to doing more of the things I needed to be doing. The only trade-off was we don't get to do any huge budget series like Starship Icarus anymore, and that does suck. But now I'm at IGN and they do have money and I can do stuff like that again. So this time we've had to build Small Beans as an outlet for literally anything we want to do that we can do that will please you guys is amazing. And I'm never going to let go of Small Beans no matter how hard it is to do a job and Small Beans because this is our outlet. The only hurdle is Small Beans stuff has to be low budget. And as any creative can tell you, that's not the end of the world. Low budget is not the end of the world. It's nice to have high budget for certain projects you envision, but it's not necessary. Raft schematic and fishhook. Q. Thing I'm most excited about that will take the longest to come out is we're working on a graphic novel with some very talented artists who you would know their names if you're into comics, like real comic artists, of some sci-fi horror short stories. I can't wait for that. But that's like a Small Beans thing that will be probably 3 years out. What else can I spoil? We have a lot of plans at any given time. Which incidentally is why we decided to call it Small Beans. Was the image of a lot of ideas percolating simultaneously in one coffee pot is where that came from. Loot, rags. Okay. See, this game's hard when you're conversing with wonderful people because I am really hungry and thirsty. I would normally never let myself get this ragged. So I'm gonna shut up while I dial in my shit, because this is also my favorite song on the soundtrack. Listen to this shit. I mean, the passion in that vocal delivery. I love this dude. I love this song. Thank you, Damien. Yeah, everyone, check out what Damien Rookwood just posted. That is a newsletter where Schmitty will inform you of what he's doing next, because he doesn't know what that is yet. But if you're like most of us, okay, there's a whole family of wolves here, so this is going to be rough. If you're like most of us, you love Schmitty and you love his work, and you have lots of other stuff in your life going on, and you could forget to check in on a comedian who's made you laugh in the past. That's easy to forget. Case in point, I used to have millions of fans on Cracked. Now I have maybe 20,000, because for every, fan, there's plenty of people who don't know Small Beans existed and are like, oh, I guess Cracked ended. I'll forget about all those people now. That's normal. That's regular. That's what I do with most comedians. But when a comedian makes a very special impression on you, you want to follow him. And if Schmitty made a very special impression on you, his Tiny Letter newsletter is how you will find out, without worrying about it ever again, what he's up to next when he is up to it. Thomas Toller, I do Twitch streaming regularly. My Twitch was not working today, and I wanted to stream anyway, so that's what's happening. Sorry. I did want to. I tried Twitch. I was having too many technical difficulties, and I gave up. And that's fine. It's all fine. Okay. I don't know. You guys tell me. Is it time to switch to Bloodborne? It feels like it might be time to switch to Bloodborne, or I could go until the run actually ends, which might be soon, because we're getting low on food and water. I haven't been keeping track of my shit as well as I should have been. Oops, not move. Use. Alright, vote in chat, please. More Flame in the Flood or switch to Bloodborne? Which would bring us one step closer to Last of Us. Finish the run, this game is sweet. Okay. Any dissenting opinions? Our Twitch is affiliated with our gaming podcast, so our Twitch is one-upsmanship, the number 1, and then upsmanship. Keep going. People say keep going. Alright, in that case, I'm going to actually try and live. So, we are hungry and we are thirsty. We have one moldy lump. So, okay, now you're going to watch me really play this game. We have one moldy lump, which means we can't make penicillin. I can't kill those wolves, so it's time to move on. And quickly, because we need more resources coming in. The Wagon Klutz says Bloodborne. I kind of agree, but we'll get there. I only agree because I'm ashamed of my floodness right now. But here we go. Oh no. See, when you get really low on food and water, they cut the score out, so it becomes, you can imagine yourself in the sweltering heat, starving. Oi, that means you're close to death when the soundtrack cuts out. And we're in the doldrums. We need some rapids. Get us moving. Here we go. We need to get to the next area. Whoa, whoa, whoa. There we go. Whoa. Alright. What do we need? What are we praying for? Water needs charcoal, so we're praying for a camp. We need a campground. Pray for a tent icon. Shit, we're gonna die of thirst. Okay, if it gets to that point... Alright, we're stopping at a liquor store. That probably won't have what we need. Maybe it'll... Oh, wait, there's a church. No, we're going to the church. Pray for a moldy lump. Moldy lump's how you make penicillin. Which we will need, because then I can drink the dirty water, get food poisoning, and just... I died of dehydration. Damn it, we were so close! Oh, no, no, I'm alive. I'm barely alive. So let's drink the dirty water, get dehydration, or get whatever that comes with that. We'll probably get food poisoning. Giardia. We got Giardia. Okay. So, that cured our thirst, but we have Giardia. To cure Giardia, we need, I believe, penicillin. Oh, sumac tea or dandelion tea. Hell yeah, hell yeah. Okay, we can do this. We can save this. Refill. Fucking refill the jar with dirty water. Use. Yes. Make... Why can't I make a water filter? What am I missing? Water filter. I need 2 cattails. Okay, so get cattails, make water filter, clean the water, make a campfire, make sumac tea, and then we're cured. That's the sequence of events we need to happen here. Alcohol. No. Why would there be alcohol under the hood of a car? Who knows? We need cattails, not saplings. Cattails and moldy lumps. Alcohol. Why is there so much alcohol at this church? I guess that makes sense. Ooh, a snake. Avoid that. Okay, fuck. Fuck. Another snake. Fuck! They're fucking us! Let's sleep only a tiny bit. Love that dirty water. Pray for moldy lump. The Eternal Flame Church. I love how the church names change also. There's a variety of church names you can come across. I'm ill-equipped, I know. Oh, believe me, I know. Okay, we have Giardia. What can we do about that? No. 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 God damn it. I had an idea. What was it? We can make dandelion tea. We can make sumac tea for sure. But only if we can make a fire, and we can't because we don't have old lumber. So we gotta move on. It's getting dark. It's getting cold and rainy. I see the end. We could make sumac tea if we could make a fire, but we can't make a fire. We could make penicillin if we had another moldy lump, but we can't find one. We could kill that rabbit and eat if we could make a snare, but we don't have cattails, so we can't make a snare. It's dire times, my friends. There's a campsite. Campsite's likely to have a campfire, which would help us right now. Oh, I'm dying of Giardia. There we go. I like that warp effect. That's cool. I've never died of Giardia. I didn't know that it looked like that. Dehydration. Okay, cause of death, dehydration. That is a Flame in the Flood run. And yes, Otaku Man, you can die of sleep while you're asleep. You can die in your sleep. It's very, very realistic and detailed to the point that you find yourself being like I just said, like, well, if I could make a campfire, I could get charcoal and make a water filter, and then I wouldn't get Giardia. But I need old lumber to make the campfire, and I can't find cattails. They're at campsites. Okay, so we're praying for a campsite. And I just love the strategic depth and how good you can get at the game and how complexly you have to think, and that every time you finish a run, you get this visual history of your entire run that gives you literally your raft course. Your every detail of your run is spelled out. Everywhere you stopped, where you got sick, where you healed, where you interacted with animals, and what happened. The map is really cool. The whole game is so beautifully put together, and this is by, again, a developer called Molasses Flood, and they have a new game coming up. I forget what it's called. I just heard it's in the works, but I'm really looking out for this developer. Yeah, Flame in the Flood, highly recommend. A bunch more shit happens. If you get farther than we got, plot unfolds, and you meet people and other survivors, and you encounter bears and shit. So definitely try it out. I will stream it again, but I wanted to sort of do a combo stream this morning. So we're moving on to Bloodborne.